This is a 55, maybe 56-year-old retired engineer who decided to raise some money for his favorite charity by running an urban marathon. So he's running in the city streets, largely highways and so on, one a day for 5 days a week. So that's 250, 260 marathons. His name is Martin Parnell. Martin, you are our next lunatic.
Thank you very much. Pleasure. Thanks a lot. Well, as Moses said, my name is Martin Parnell. I'm 55 years old. I'm married. I have 3 children, 2 grandchildren, and I'm a long-distance runner. I haven't always been that. In fact, 8.5 years ago, I didn't run. I had done a number of sports, but running wasn't one of them. Until one fateful evening in December 2002, I got a phone call from my younger brother, Peter. He had been talking to my other younger brother, Andrew, and they challenged me to a marathon. And this was kind of an ongoing thing, these little, I don't know, sibling challenges. It used to be darts and ping pong, which was good. But, they said, how about a marathon? Well, I didn't hesitate, absolutely. When you get the challenge, you've just got to step up and do it. But then I thought, well, what do I do next? So the next morning, I got out of the house and I ran 1 kilometer out and 1 kilometer back. And I thought, woo. A marathon's 42.2, that's a lot of ones, So I thought, anyway, the challenge is on. I had sort of 6-7 months to get ready, so started from that point. And in 2003, July, we lined up, and off I went with my 2 brothers on my first marathon. And I was way ahead of them. 2 kilometers, I looked back, and they were behind. Unfortunately, I stepped in a pothole, went flat on my face. Shouldn't have looked back, and blood everywhere. And of course, they ran past me, and yeah. Anyway, I finished. And for some reason, I really enjoyed it, even with all the injury and stuff. And so I decided to do another one actually in Toronto, the Toronto International. So I phoned up my brother, Peter. Peter, how about a marathon? He said, are you nuts? So no, they didn't pick up my challenge. And so I did the Toronto Marathon in 2003. And qualified for Boston, which was unbelievable. I was so thrilled. And so the running really started. Things got going, and I enjoyed the running so much, I decided to try triathlon. Because it's longer. You just keep going longer. It's great. So I got into triathlon and slowly built up, did a sprint, did an Olympic, did a half Ironman. And then I decided to sign up for Ironman Canada, which is in Penticton. So you have to sign up a year ahead, so I signed up, and I thought, that's great. But I was also looking for an adventure, and in fact, what I wanted to do was see Africa. And I thought, well, there's a number of ways of doing it, by bus, by 4x4, but it was obvious to me the bike was the way to go. So a group of us went to Cairo, and we cycled across Africa in 4 months. Cycled and camped, and 10 countries, 10,000 kilometers from January to May in 2005. And we started off in Egypt, cycled all the way through Egypt, got on a barge and crossed Lake Nasser to Wadi Hofi in Sudan. Started cycling on the sand roads. It was beating hot and just phenomenal, but it was a tough go. But one evening, sort of a few days into being in the Sudan, we were camping, and there was some kids playing soccer, and I love soccer. I was brought up in England. In fact, I love a lot of sports. In fact, I do a lot of sports badly, which I'm very proud of. Yeah, I'm not one of these ones kind of sport really good. It's a lot kind of not that great, But that's okay, because I just love different sports. So I started playing soccer with these kids, and this is great. I couldn't speak the language, but we played a game, and it was really, really cool. And so I cycled through Sudan, a couple of weeks to get through Sudan with the group, crossed into Ethiopia, and just a stunning country. And I'm cycling along this dusty gravel road, and it's beating hot. And I come through a little village, and there on the side of the road were two young boys, probably 11, 12, playing table tennis. Now, I love table tennis. I have to say that actually it was probably the one sport I've excelled in. I was the under-13 champion of my Catholic youth club. No, don't. No, seriously, you don't mess with me with table tennis. So I put my bike down, I jump off, and there's this table, kind of a slab of wood, and the one young lad, and all I again, didn't say anything, I just went like this. And he gave me the bat, and so I start playing, and I think you understand what I'm saying, but, in sport, I try and win. I don't care if it's a 12-year-old or whatever, No, I don't care. Like, a game's a game. So, and I've got my helmet, my sunglasses, I've got my hydration pack, my red Biking Canada shirt, my spandex shorts. They must have wondered, what the hell is going on? Like, anyway, so we start playing, and suddenly there's 100 kids around us. And they are yelling and screaming and having a lot of fun. And it's just, in fact, I like to step back from that moment and sort of freeze it, because I'm just giving it a big forehand smash, and the kids smashing it back. And it was an amazing moment. And so, I finished the game. I lost. But he was definitely the under-15 Ethiopian champion. No, yeah. No, don't get me wrong. This kid was good. So anyway, I get on my bike and I leave that scene, and the kids are waving and yelling, and I mean, they've got nothing. These kids, they've got nothing, and yet the spirit that I saw in that sort of few minutes was really unbelievable. And this happened time and time again. I kept going through, and there was lots of these table tennis tables, and I played a few games, didn't win any, but that's okay. That's all right. And so it was incredible, and all the way through the trip, be it soccer or table tennis or running with the kids, it definitely, the impression I got traveling through 10 countries in 4 months to Africa was just the joy of the kids when you participated with them and just basically interacted with them in sport. And that really stuck with me. Got home, people said, well, that would change your life. Well, it really didn't. It was a great trip, and I saw a lot, but I didn't really think too much more about it. Got into triathlon, did my Ironman Canada, and that was great. Like 17 hours to do this thing. And I like to get value for money, so 16 and a half hours is what I used. Yeah, I hate to rush through these things, so I stretched it right out, 16 and a half hours. And I thought, I just love this stuff. And I thought, could there possibly be another sport where you can actually go longer? And luckily there is, guys. Yeah, ultra running, okay? So this is anything beyond 42.2 kilometers. And so luckily in Alberta, we have a number of ultra races, Blackfoot, the Death Race, Sinister 7, Lost Souls, really uplifting kind of names, Wow, I want to do the Death Race, And I did, yeah, and I didn't die. So I kind of got into this stuff, and I was running for 21 hours in the Death Race, 26 hours in the Sinister 7. But I really wanted to do a 100-miler, as we all do, right? Yeah. So the Lost Souls is a 100-miler in Lethbridge, and I started training for that. And in fact, in early 2009, I started my training. But at that time, a very significant thing happened is a friend of mine introduced me to the children's charity Right to Play. And I'd heard about Right to Play. Clara Hughes is a big supporter. A lot of the Olympians support Right to Play. And my friend explained that they use sport and physical activity to teach kids. It's a play-based learning. And they've used it for a number of years. It was started by Johan Koss, the speed skater. He's from Norway. He won 3 gold medals in speed skating. And it had been sort of evolved over the years. They use it in 20 countries around the world, and I was very pleased to hear they use it in Canada. And very successfully, the kids use sport, use physical activity, games, and they basically learn a lot of skills. Leadership, working together, conflict resolution, some really core stuff. And so at the time I thought, well, that's really cool, and it really linked back to the Africa trip for me. And I thought, what could I do? So in 2009, a group of us fundraised, and we did different sports, different events, and we raised $10,000 in 2009. Now, $50 provides a child with a Right to Play program for 1 year. So that year, we helped 200 kids, and it was really cool. But as I started training for this 100-miler, I started kind of running more and more, and I was training by doing 3 marathons a week. So I'd do one like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but I'd take off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, to kind of get over it. And so in the middle of the year, I came back, and I was in my mind, because when you're out there that long, you think a lot, eh? You think and you think. And so I came back one day to my wife, Sue, who's here, and I said, Sue, I've got this brilliant idea for a fundraiser. I want to run 365 marathons a year in 1 year. So she said, see the doctor. She said, no, but that was good advice, because luckily my doctor, Dr. Hanlon, he's climbed the 7 highest peaks in the world, including Everest, and he skied to the South Pole. So I knew I had a friend. It wouldn't be just a straight no. So we very sensibly came up with 250 marathons. I think, 5 a week with a couple of sort of off days. And that was it. Sue said, go for it. So we put the plan in. The objective was to run 250 marathons to raise $250,000 for Right to Play. So the goal was set. And on January the 1st, 210, the same day that Greg was ready, he was getting his thing going. January the 1st in Calgary, minus 32, we walked out to the highway, and a little group of us, people ran with me. We started off on the first marathon. Got that one done. I mean, I had a hydration pack, all the gear. My water froze, and it was brutal. I'll be honest. I thought, what am I doing? Like, this is, why do it in Calgary as well? Like, no, but seriously, like San Diego or Sydney or, why but anyway, it was started, and I didn't have much of a choice. So I started going, and, sort of got things going. Now, the way it was set up, I had sort of 2 days of sort of recovery days, but I had 12 spare days. Like, as an engineer, mining engineer, I had it all planned out, scheduled, spreadsheets, the whole thing, okay? And so I thought, great, 12 spare days. The problem was in February, I got injured. I got a bad injury to my left leg, and I was out for 2.5 weeks. Lost all 12 days, gone. So I'm thinking, oh dear, like, there's not much flex here, but we'll just keep going. So I actually started walking 8 marathons to get back into running shape. And I don't recommend walking 8 marathons. It's too long, 8 hours a pop. So, but I got going again and then continued. Things went on through February, March, April. The biggest thing that kept me going was I ran at 60 schools. So I'd go to a school, I'd just kind of like this. I'd talk to my demographic was 6 to 12 years old, yeah. So I talked to the kids, and very similar, actually, yeah. So, and no, that's no disrespect. So the kids, yeah, so I talked to the kids, explained what I was doing, and then I'd go outside and I'd run around their soccer field 100 times. The 400-meter soccer, I'd run around, and the kids would join me for first recess. They'd join me a couple loops, and we'd chit-chat, and then they'd go in and do some classes. They'd come out at lunchtime, chit-chat, and say, hi, you're still here? Yeah, I keep going. And then they'd come at the end of the day, and hi, kids, yeah. So they would be great. We'd be running and running. They'd give me pizza. They'd feed me. We'd have a great chat about their pets, all sorts of stuff. And then because I explained that it was to help children, they'd come out with their pocket money, and they'd give me a loonie or they'd give me a toonie. Because the kids really get helping kids. When you talk to them, their imagination's puffed. They're there, they really want to do something for kids. So, as I say, I ran at 60 schools during the year, and it was unbelievable. Ran with over 12,000 children, and they were absolutely fabulous. During the year, I also did some races, because my marathons were based in Calgary and Cochrane, and basically I measured them with my GPS, 42.2, but I did run in Vancouver, Victoria, Calgary, Regina. I did Las Vegas and Boston last year as sort of part of the running thing. So the year went on. I had a few injuries, had a few falls, managed to keep going, took some good drugs. My age, you got to do what you can to keep going, and ibuprofen is my friend, yeah. Vitamin I is good. So anyway, I took that stuff and managed to keep going, in fact. And so December 31st, hit number 250 in Cochrane. A lot of friends, 300 people came out. I'd completed 10,500 kilometers in that time frame. And it was just amazing. The support was tremendous. So, Sue, my wife, she, totally support the whole time. We managed to finish that, which was great. Now, but the bigger goal, I mean, it's a means to an end, was to raise the $250,000. And so it had been very slow. It had been a kind of a slow climb. By the end of the year, we'd hit 209,000. But like these things go, within 2 weeks, we'd hit 250,000, and by March the 1st, 300,000 for the kids. So it was great. Yeah, it was great. And so, that was helping 6,000 children, and that's just, with these programs. And then I got an email from Right to Play saying, would you like to visit some of the kids that you had helped? So just 2 weeks ago, I came back from Benin in West Africa, and I visited a number of schools. I went with Robert Witchell, who's the director of Right to Play, and also with 2 Olympians, Carolyn Ouellette. Carolyn's got 3 gold medals in hockey, and Heather Moisey. Heather's a bobsleigh gold medalist, and she plays for the Canadian rugby team. We went and we visited some schools, a deaf school, and it was amazing to see. And I just got in the games. I just straight away, I love the game. So I got in and we did the Right to Play games with the kids, and you could just see the enthusiasm, the confidence that came out of that. And on the last day, it was tremendous because they asked me to lead a marathon actually with the kids. Now I was a little concerned because it was plus 30, and with the humidity plus 40, and that was kind of hard. But no, luckily it was just like a half an hour run. So I met these kids at a sports field. We went for the run, half an hour run. And then at the end, one of them, a young girl, a young woman, came up to me. Her name was Parfait, and she said, the kids want to form a running club. I said, well, that's fabulous. That's so cool. And I said, well, what name? So she went back. She said, it's got to be democratic. I have to talk to the other kids. So she came back. She said, we want to be called the Undefeatables. And I thought, wow, And I thought, I'd been visiting Benin for 5 days and seeing these kids, and that name is so fitting. All they want is a helping hand. This isn't charity. It's enabling kids to meet their potential, and these kids were tremendous. So that's the name of the running club, the Undefeatables, and I've given them a little program and stuff, but really, really cool. So, it all came around, and what I saw last week made it all worthwhile. Thanks a lot. Now, before I finish, I got a couple of things to say. I realize the theme of this conference is sex. Is that correct? No. So what? Obviously, I get a lot of questions from kids. Normally, it's why are you bold, and where do you go to the toilet? So I'll leave those two aside for the minute. You can ask me afterwards. But on the sex one, obviously the burning question is, what about sex and the long distance runner? I mean, it's a natural question. No, it's fair. It's fair. So no, but to get that answer, you're gonna have to read my book, which is coming out. Yeah, no, I can't give it all away. All right, and just, yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, it's a kiss and tell, so you'll be able to. But just one other announcement. In fact, I don't know if Moses, let you know, but by signing up for ideacity 11, you also became members of the ideacity running club. No, I don't know if you realize that. Yeah, congratulations, guys. Well done. So actually our inaugural run, and this is not joking, this is serious, is tomorrow morning at 7:30. We're going to meet at the Four Seasons Hotel, okay, 7:30 in the morning, and we're going to do just half an hour walk, run, kind of introduction thing, okay? So if you want to come out, I've picked the route, I've figured it out, it's a great route. So please come on out and we'll have some fun and just for half an hour, a little bit of exercise. So great, thanks a lot.
That's great, man.
Great, thank you very much. Absolute pleasure.
That's so cool. Good job.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.